Young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Brasher Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Okay, why all really need to get in on this right now? Because Brasher Gray's OnlyFans just leaked, and there is some insane drama surrounding it. Brasher's not keeping quiet about anything, and he straight up pointed fingers at Diddy, claiming that Diddy is the reason that he had to go the OnlyFans route because Diddy messed up his life and left him homeless. The allegations against Diddy just keep piling up and getting crazier every time. Brasher is ready to tell his true story, and it's not looking good. Now, if you're wondering what on earth happened to Brasher Gray, and how he went from starring on Empire, which was one of the biggest shows at the time, to opening an OnlyFans account where he posts adult content, it's something that we did not expect to see. But hey, here we are. According to Brasher, this has Diddy's hands all over it. We've heard whispers about Diddy's alleged antics with Brasher before, but this is the first time Brasher is laying it all out. Let's just say it kind of explains why he's now running an OnlyFans account and pretty much living on the fringes of Hollywood. Brasher was one of the breakout stars on Empire, and fans have been scratching their heads about how things never took off for him after that. Turns out his departure wasn't exactly by choice. Allegedly, some big wigs like Diddy forced him out and nudged him towards OnlyFans. After Empire wrapped up, everyone had high hopes for Brasher Gray's career, but things didn't pan out as expected. When Brasher was a teenager, he met Charlie Mack, who would later become his manager. Using his Hollywood connections, Charlie scored Brasher an online audition for Empire, and voila, Brasher landed the role of Hakeem Lyon on one of the hottest shows on TV at the time. A few weeks after that, Charlie introduced Brasher to none other than Will Smith, and they hit it off in a mentor-mentee type of way. You'd think having Will Smith in his corner would be a huge boost for Brasher, right? Well, it turns out not so much. Allegedly, Will introduced Brasher to Diddy because Brasher had dreams of being a rapper, and Will wanted to help him break into the music scene. In hindsight, this should have been a huge red flag. Brasher definitely should have sprinted in the other direction, but back then, no one knew the skeletons in Diddy's closet. Brasher thought he was safe and believed Diddy would make him into the next big star, given Diddy's clout as the owner of Bad Boy Records and his tight relationship with Will Smith. For context, there have been whispers for over 20 years suggesting that Diddy and Will Smith were on the down low together, with multiple industry insiders accusing them of some hanky-panky with other men. The really shady part, though, is the allegations that they did some unspeakable non-consensual acts to other men in the industry. Brasher, unaware of those dark rumors, thought he was in safe hands, hoping for a big break that never quite came. For example, Alexis Arquette, who knew Will on a personal level, spilled the tea that Will's first marriage to Cherie Zampino ended because Cherie caught him in bed with a man. Alexis wrote, "When Jada comes out as gay and her beard husband admits his first marriage ended when she walked into him servicing his sugar daddy Benny Medina, then I will listen to them. She, being his first wife, paid for his silence." Alexis Arquette wasn't the only one spilling tea on Will Smith. Jaguar Wright came through with even more juicy gossip, claiming that Will had affairs with multiple younger men in the industry. According to her, he played this mentor card, but then turned it into a full-blown relationship drama, leaving these guys totally shook. And guess who she named as one of his mentees? Brasher. Makes you wonder what kind of mentoring Will was doing with Brasher, right? And then he supposedly hooked him up with Diddy for some music mentoring. But Brasher's music career never popped off, even with two of the biggest names in the game backing him. I mean, if you've got Diddy and Will Smith in your corner and your career still isn't taking off, there's definitely some shady business going on. Let's not forget that Diddy has been under investigation by the feds for allegedly being intimate with younger men without the consent of the said men. According to reports, during a debriefing session with federal investigators, James Rosemond, the music manager turned cocaine kingpin, was reportedly questioned about the sexual preferences of entertainers, including whether Sean Diddy Combs was having intimate relationships with underage boys. According to a U.S. District Court filing, it wasn't until Cassie's lawsuit dropped that Diddy got called out for real. Cassie spilled it all, saying that Diddy had a thing for male escorts and would make her join in these wild freak-offs, watching or even getting involved herself. Cassie's lawsuit gave other victims the courage to come forward. Since then, we've heard from several people, including producer Little Rod, who detailed how Diddy allegedly messed with him and even encouraged others to do the same. It sounds a lot like what he allegedly did to Brasher, right? And speaking of Brasher, after Empire wrapped, his life just spiraled. Some say it was his own choice, but plenty believe he was acting out because of what went down in the industry. Let's be real, that kind of thing would mess with anyone's head. After Empire, Brasher dropped some songs that were hitting it big, and he was gearing up for a tour. But out of nowhere, it was like he got blackballed from the whole scene. His movie roles dried up, and the music industry didn't want to touch him, and his songs disappeared from the airwaves. Back then, folks said he rubbed some big shots the wrong way by not playing their game, leading to his own exile. But now the truth's coming out, and it's looking shady. His ordeal left him badly messed up, just like Jaguar Wright said about Will Smith. Remember when she called out Will for supposedly mentoring dudes into messed up situations? Yeah, Brasher was definitely shaken up and started acting out. Allegedly, that's why Brasher started acting out himself. Back in July 2020, there was this wild scene where Brasher's wife, Candace, ran into the streets, stopping folks and begging for help. She said she was a victim of domestic violence and her husband was getting aggressive with her. One Good Samaritan took her to the cops, and that's when she dropped the bomb and claimed that she was Brasher's wife.
Thanks for joining us. Up first tonight, we're following breaking news in the arrest of Bryshere Gray, one of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight, we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest. It ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had her for hours inside their Goodyear home.
Die Kai. She told the police a sad tale of Brasher allegedly laying his hands on her, even choking her until she passed out. She claimed their argument had escalated when she confronted him about how he had been cheating on her, and this sent him into a rage. After that whole drama, Brasher got hit even harder. He faced felony aggravated assault charges plus misdemeanors for assault and disorderly conduct. His mugshot went viral, and folks on social media were shocked, speculating about whether he was on drugs or something else. Eventually, he was charged with DV and got slapped with 10 days in county jail and 3 years probation. After that mess, he tried to bounce back in Hollywood like a newcomer, even willing to take big pay cuts for a shot. But that blacklist was no joke, and he just couldn't catch any breaks. Things got rough, and he ended up broke and homeless, having to find other ways to hustle, if you catch my drift. When the pictures and videos leaked from his OnlyFans, people were in disbelief, thinking it was all fake. But then he dropped proof on Twitter, owning up to his off career. His Twitter bio is something else, to say the least. Now, he's speaking up, saying Diddy put him on such a deep blacklist that nobody in the industry wanted anything to do with him. Supposedly, Diddy gave him an ultimatum: either play along as his plaything or watch his career crash and burn. But Brasher was too messed up from all the trauma to go back to Diddy, and with bills piling up, OnlyFans became his last resort. Fans commented, "Brasher Gray resorting to of is not surprising at all." Brasher Gray being an of guy was not on my bingo card for this Sunday. And I actually feel bad for this era of Brasher Gray. People resorting to being SWS is not normal, and is normally associated with a negative lifestyle. This looks like yet another life ruined by Diddy. But if you're having any thoughts about it, please comment and then check out this next video.